Good morning, people. I was just going through some stuff on my Quick app for my GoPro, and I found a couple of bookmaking videos, and I thought you might enjoy looking at them. They're kind of old, and they're not the best effort, I guess, as far as bookmaking, but I'm going to start posting some things on this channel, and I'm cleaning out my GoPro stuff, and I don't know if these will ever get published, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I hope you enjoy them. Okay, I'm back. Here's a GMR Ride sticker, and we'll just plop that right in there. And we'll close that. And then, see how big this spine is? And this little bit over here is a box that I have created myself, again, using instructions from Nick on Teachable. This is her Traveler's kit. Anyway, I've made this out of, I think it's balsa wood. I don't know, some balsa wood or basswood, I can never remember which. I cut the pieces, I pre-treated and stained them, and then I secured them all together. I used dyed twill tape to make it look really old, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. I included a couple of pencils so somebody could get started right away if they wanted to be artistic. I've also included a piece of poison cloth, as you can tell, and this is sample number 8. There are some little messages, there's a couple of messages in there, and we'll leave that for the recipient to find. Some other little things here. You know, just some more things from Nick on her Etsy shop because I thought those were so pretty. Some things from Tim Holtz. He has a lot of ephemera that's really cool and kind of dark. This is a little sample, I don't know if you can see it, of the cloth that I painted and distressed, and then I stamped to look old, and I think I did a good job on that. I added in 4 little vials of some magical seeds from my garden. They're not really magic, but it's a good story in my opinion. And I also left a little thing down here that tells you what they are. These little books are made by myself. They are a journal for journaling all your little teeny tiny thoughts. I have terrible fingernails today. I've been working with some dye and some paint. This universe, Wonders of the Universe, is a book that I got on Etsy, and it really is readable if you can read that small. I cannot. And here's another little thing you could just write something in if you were maybe a fairy. I don't know. But it also indicates that, you know, you have to beware of poison, and I put some stickers and stuff in there because I thought they looked cool. I also secured this little vial onto the shelf here so that you wouldn't mistakenly use it. There are 2 shelves secured in here and a divider. Again, I hand fitted all of this and I secured it with some other stuff. I put a bead on the side here to secure the top closed when we're all done. And there's a piece of leather on the other side of it, which will flip over the side of this bead. In the bottom compartment here, there's a pretty cool thing. I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. It's an old piece of crystal that I had, and it is secured onto a beaded chain with, a little doohickey on the end. And it's got a castle on it, which I thought was pretty cool. So there's that. And then there's this piece of 1800s vintage gold, what would you call that? Tatting, lace, whatever. But anyway, you can feel it's metallic and it's pretty cool. So I thought that belonged in there too. So it makes a great home for this little talisman to be secured into. So that gets tucked back in there like that. And these go up here. This goes here. This goes up here. These are going to go here. This piece of poison cloth will go here. And like I said, the cover gets secured with this little doohickey. And then the whole thing closes overall. And then goes like that. Yeah, that's my dog in the background. And you can see that once you get the little doohickey on the side, it's pretty secure. And like I said, if they don't like that, they don't have to use it. I also made a little book to go with this. Well, I make these all the time anyway. And when I'm selling something, I like to just include a couple little freebies. This is just made from an old pill bag. We got a whole bunch donated to us at Bash, and I took some home to play with. So I tea stained them, and then I had a whole bunch of just little paper bits and bobs that I used, and I glued on there. These are all just made out of scraps. And, you know, the end serves as a little envelope if you want to put stickers or receipts or whatever in there. And then you can use that for writing on or putting stickers on, or, you know, you can glue something else over the top of it, and it's secured with, again, a piece of twine, some fold-out pages, some other funny things. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell or not, but my thing is that I like to make stuff out of nothing. And I think, you know, in my opinion, it's turning out pretty good. So I hope that you have enjoyed this look-see at some things I'm sending out into the universe today. I know that the recipient is going to enjoy them very much, almost as much probably as I have enjoyed creating them. And thank you to my grandson for this nifty tripod I'm using today, so I don't have to try and do this one-handed. It's been me, Lila, Gma Rides. I did something interesting today. Thanks for coming along with me. And now for my classic outro. Oh, but hey, first, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all those things, okay? Okay, now we're done. GoPro, stop recording. Oh my. So hang on while I adjust just a little bit here. Anyway, this is a book that I'm sending out into the universe. It has a gently rounded fabric spine with 3 pseudo-raised ridges on it. I've painted some silver edging there, and it has a little doohickey in here with, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a couple of shelves of potions and a skull there. The cover is made of some distressed masonite covered with a secret thing and some stenciling and some raised design with some silver antiquing on it. I think I told you already, it's fabric spine. You open it up to a front page, and it has in here a tuck spot and a couple of cool things in there. Also in here, I have hand bound these signatures, which are dyed by myself and created off of Etsy, and some things I pirate off of books. This one has a little bit spooky of a vibe to it, and I just very random. I like it though. I think it's got about 140 pages, and I'm documenting this because it's going out in the universe today. I like these number books. I think they look cool. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are some different purpling to dark tones there that look nice with the book. A couple of fold-out bits and some music pages, some stamping, an old typing book. I just thought that turned out pretty nice. There's a couple of postcardy things and some tuck spots, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but he's got some eyeglasses on, which gives him a really creepy effect in his eyes. I got that from Nick the Booksmith on Teachable, which is where I learned how to make my books at. It's been an invaluable series of courses to take. You can learn some of this stuff on YouTube for free, but the finer little bits of it have been invaluable to learn from her. She's a great teacher. So if you're in the mood to learn how to do these things, go to Teachable and look up the Booksmith, Nick the Booksmith. I put in a bookmark with some stuff on it, some trinkety bits, little potion bottle and some beads and a gear. More pages for writing or some calligraphy pages. I don't know if you can see it or not, but these pages are all bound in, hand bound in, like I said, on a fabric spine that's backed by something sturdy, and it will not come apart. You can keep your stickers in here. You can keep your private thoughts in here. I put this in here because I just thought it was a cool thing. I don't know. You know, sometimes I send people things and it's like they use that for an idea and then they move on with what they want to do. Here's some more, another tuck spot and some more things for the owner to explore. Like I said, this is going out in the universe and I couldn't be more excited. I put in a dictionary page, some ledger bits, again, printed from Nick the Booksmith on Etsy. I like to put ledger paper in, all different kinds of ledger. My dog and cat are watching 16 Candles in the background. They seem to be enjoying it. I like to have noise in the house. There's a lot of little tuck spots like this, and this is from an old census book from 1798 with a couple of little cards tucked in there. Excuse me. Another piece of ledger paper that I have tea stained. It's a little bit messy, but it's supposed to be that way. It's a junk journal, people. This is just tucked onto there. I always put a little notebook in my journals that I send out in the world, or I always try to. And this is no different. There is some lined paper bound into this little notebook right here. And on the other side is a postcard from Nick the Booksmith and my my YouTube channel sticker. Another tuckable spot back here. Actually, there's a couple of tucky spots. One of them is a little bitty tiny. There's also an ex libris, which means you put your name there. Along with that, I've decided to include this little book. And it's just something I made out of an old bag, believe it or not, and some stuff I got. I just had these papers laying around, so I kind of just put them together. And again, there's some more of my hand-dyed pages. And I bound them in here just using some twine. And I put a couple of beads on there just for fun. Okay? So that is book 1 that's going out in the world today. And I'm very proud of it. So I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to bring in the next one. This next book that's going out in the universe was a special order, and I'm not saying his name because he knows who he is. I made this to attach the two sides together in case it ever gets too bulky. And it's just a tassel with a whole bunch of charms on it, some crystals, some gems, some other things. I've tied a piece of ribbon on it, and these two clamps will secure the sides of the book together in case it ever gets gaposis, like some of these books tend to do. The book itself is made out of some sturdy masonite material. It has a front and rear cover, of course, with a curved spine with 5 raised ridges, which have been secured in place and highlighted with some silver and some whitish paint. It has some gauzy stuff here. And if they don't like that, they can just cut that off. I give them permission. The front design is kind of a time traveler magic motif, which I thought was just really cool. I love this book. I never replicate my books exactly, but I'll probably use this method of making a cover again. When you open it up to the inside, it has this, it's not nautical, but it's got some ships on it, and it's got some other stuff. The inside is lined with fabric, with worlds on it, and which world, that's totally up to your imagination. There's a huge deep pocket here that I created out of an old file folder. It's got this picture on it, which I think is a memento mori picture. You can kind of see how the little girl's eyes are really weird looking, in my opinion. And you can see that her mother is holding her head up at a sort of unnatural angle. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I also tucked in here a perpetual calendar, a photo cabinet card that I put together for them. Doesn't she look pretty magical? I like to just include little things for people to write on. And here's a piece of paper that I just thought looked pretty cool and grungy. I I stole this out of a Harry Potter book, don't tell anybody. But this pocket is nice and deep, so it'll be able to take lots of stuff in it. I grabbed a page out of a spell book, so they can have that if they need to practice their spells. Here's a bookmark with a little dragon on it. I thought he was pretty cool looking. A Harry Potter hang tag, which it was just too cool looking to throw away, so I fluffed it up a little bit and stuck it in here. They can use it for a bookmark. This is an extra page of that MIT note paper. I don't know if I told you guys about it, but I got a notebook from MIT from the 30s, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and it was an old chemistry notebook, so it's got all kinds of interesting stuff in it, and I've been incorporating that in my books. There's a huge spine here, which, as you can see, is really sturdy. There's also a twine thing here that's bound into the spine, and it ties in this little notebook here. Well, it's not really little. It's got, like, I think 3, 4, 5 signatures in it, which we know means groups of papers. And I created this cover using a 3-layer technique, so it would be very sturdy. I also printed this off. I painted it so it would look kind of gray and black and brown, and I don't know why I said gray, distressed, and it's got some time stamping on it, which I thought was cool, and I've echoed that right here in the notes thing on the cover. You open it up, and I just thought that looked so cool, and I couldn't not put it in here. Again, I've tea stained and dyed all of these papers except for the ones I stole out of various old vintage books. And one of those books was one of the very first Harry Potters that came out. My daughter's school loved it so much that the pages came out, so I did not want to let them go to a landfill. So I put them in here, and I thought they looked pretty cool. There's also, of course, a piece of ledger in here. There might be more than one, I can't remember. The family and the company. I don't know about that, but there's some interesting bits to read in here. And as you can see, these are all hand bound into the notebook. More of the piece of ledger paper. It's a nice long size, a little bit bigger than legal size, so I didn't want to cut it. And this is where you tie or untie this little book. If you want to take it out and work on its own, you can tie a half knot here. Knickerbocker Glory, there's some Harry Potter recipes in there. Some more pieces of that fantastic dyed paper and some stuff I've scalped from other places. Who was really the last great wizard? We all want to know, don't we? I don't know. But anyway, I put some more of that MIT paper in here. And believe it or not, this is dyed with avocado skins. That was quite the messy process, let me just tell you. You don't want to do that. You want to leave that to me. And again, here's another Ex Libris. I'm going to have to add a Gmar Ride sticker there. Hang on while I do that.